Are black people white people's mascots?
Wow. Well, this is where we laugh, learn, and take positive action. So let's see. Boom. It's a good one.
This Black Month, I'm pleased to partner with OMH in advancing better health through better understanding for Black communities. Climate change is having a disproportionate effect on the physical and mental health of Black communities. Black Americans are more likely than white Americans to live in areas and housing that increase their susceptibility to climate-related health issues. And 65% of Black Americans report feeling anxious about climate change's impact. Through our Office of Climate Change and Health Equity and the Office of Environmental Justice, we're working with providers and community leaders to identify innovative approaches that empower communities to address the health consequences linked to climate change.
Years ago, when Jack Greenberg left the
Why Cat look like the dude from Honey I Shrunk the Kids with a wig on?
NAACP Legal Defense Fund to become a professor at Columbia University, he announced that he was going to make it a point to hire a black secretary at Columbia. This would, of course, make whomever he hired be seen as a token black, rather than as someone selected on the basis of competence. This reminded me of the first time I went to Milton Friedman's office when I was a graduate student at the University of Chicago back in 1960, and I noticed that he had a black secretary. This was 4 years before the Civil Rights Act of 1964, and there was no such thing as affirmative action. Milton Friedman had the same black secretary decades later when he moved to the Hoover Institution, and she was respected as one of the best secretaries around. When I mentioned to someone at the Hoover Institution that I was having a hard time finding a secretary who could handle a tough job in my absence, I was told that I needed someone like Milton Friedman's secretary, and that there were not many like her. At no time in all these years did I hear Milton Friedman mention, either publicly or privately, that he had a black secretary. William F. Buckley's wife once mentioned in passing, at dinner in her home, that she had been involved for years in working with a school in Harlem, but I never heard her or Bill Buckley ever say that publicly. Nor do conservatives who were in the civil rights marches in the South, back when that was dangerous, make that a big deal. For people on the left, however, blacks are trophies or mascots, and must therefore be put on display.
Right.
Nowhere is that more true than in politics. The problem with being a mascot is that you are a symbol of someone else's significance or virtue. The actual well-being of a mascot is not the point. Liberals all across the country have not hesitated to destroy black neighborhoods in the name of urban renewal, often replacing working-class neighborhoods with upscale homes and pricey businesses, neither of which the former residents can afford. In academia, lower admission standards for black students are about having them as a visible presence, even if mismatching them with a particular college or university produces high dropout rates. The black students who don't make it are replaced by others, and when many of them don't make it either, there are still more others. The point is to have black faces on campus as mascots, symbolizing what great people there are running the college or university. Many, if not most, of the black students who do not make it at big-name, high-pressure institutions are perfectly qualified to succeed at the normal range of colleges and universities. Most white students would also punch out if admitted to schools for which they don't have the same qualifications as the other students, but nobody needs white mascots. Various empirical studies have indicated that blacks succeed best at institutions where there is little or no difference between their qualifications and the qualifications of the other students around them. This is not rocket science, but it is amazing how much effort and cleverness have gone into denying the obvious. A study by Professor Richard Sander of the UCLA Law School suggests that there may be fewer black lawyers as a result of affirmative action admissions to law schools that are a mismatch for the individuals admitted. Leaping to the defense of black criminals is another common practice among liberals who need black mascots. Most of the crimes committed by black criminals are committed against other blacks. But again, the actual well-being of mascots is not the point. Politicians who use blacks as mascots do not hesitate to throw blacks to the wolves for the benefit of the teachers' unions, the green zealots whose restrictions make housing unaffordable, or people who keep low-price stores like Walmart out of their cities. Using human beings as mascots is not idealism.
Right.
It is self-aggrandizement that is ugly in both its concept and its consequences.
The Democratic Party is the worst thing for black people.
So I was going to say, like, do you have an example of where you think a white liberal has adopted a black as a mascot? You're talking about specifically, I know.
Just culture, black culture in general. By accepting, remember, by bringing on LeBron James, you bring on Beyonce, you bring on all these people to support the Democratic Party. You bring on Kamala Harris. You bring, as a black woman, you bring Barack Obama. These were mascots for white people.
Okay.
They were mascots for the left. They weren't mascots for the right. True. If you notice, that's why the right isn't favored. The right doesn't do mascots. The right is standard on, we're about God.
This is the This is the stance. This is the policy.
This is what we do.
Yeah. This is what we stand
on.
behind.
The party is open. Come on. We need y'all. Come on. Black people party the best.
Right.
So we
True.
So if you look at side by side, the left needs black people to survive. They need culture. They need mascots because mascots reel in the other audience. The mascots,
True.
like people love the mascot, and so they're going to go over here because, hey, man, this is more fun over here. Where even though this is going to be regressive and this is going to pull you down by picking this side, this is going to do you no good outside of excitement and entertainment over here. So it's time for black people to do your research, and it takes a little research to really understand where you truly stand. So just know that side ain't good. They use black people for their agenda. Stop being used for the agenda. All my black people that's watching, that's not on the conservative minded thinking. They use you for agenda on the left. So
I'm gonna say too, dig into the policies and see what you actually truly support over there. I mean, really dig deep and go and see what he supposedly believes or wants to change coming into 2024.
Coming out.
Well, yeah, the term.
I'm praying coming out.
But
move forward. It's time to move on.
But okay, yeah, I can clearly see that, and I was thinking to myself, well, when you look at the red
token.
side, it's
no tokens.
No, they have the stance, and now people are waking up. More black people are waking up. They're realizing that, okay, I do support this. Yeah, I really support this. No, I don't support that. Yeah,
we should not be, as a culture of people, picking a side because they support welfare. That means you will never be rich. You will never be a gift for your leaving inheritance for your grandchildren. And that's what they want, because what you don't leave is what they pick up and what they utilize and take for their families. So it's so much time for a wake up call for black people. Half black people don't even care, and the other half think you're supposed to do this. So, and then you got the ones that's smart, that stepped away from the plantation. So,
and just in general, I think not only for black people in general, period, because there were plenty of white people in other races that also continue to vote left. The question is, do these policies? I'm
talking specific black people, yes, because a lot of who you think's picking mascots? Left,
liberals, yeah,
liberal white males are picking culturally relevant black people to get other black people to vote for them so that we can put things in place because you have voted for this token, this mascot.
Okay.
So no, it's time for some rethinking, man. I hope people saw that. I hope people see that, and I'm really curious to see. I cannot wait to November to see the percentage of people that's still voting for the left versus the people that are voting for right. I'm really I really want to see what those numbers look like. Them polls gonna make it look like it's neck and neck. I'm like, man, people are still goofy. They still just making goofy choices. You ain't come to the light. Anyway, 2024 be more.
Talk less.
We'll see you on the next one, man.